Yes, it's possible you can have amazing PCOS nutrition without all the stress, confusion, and complexity. What I have found in my years now of coaching women with PCOS is they usually come to me really well versed in a lot of complex diets and nutrition theory, and they're following it, they're working hard, but because it's so complex and so stressful to follow these types of diets, usually it's robbed them of their joy, given them even more weird relationships with food, and they're not consistent with it, and they're not getting the results, whether that was weight loss, less inflammatory symptoms, better fertility. So I want to just give you an idea of how you can have amazing PCOS nutrition, like I think I do most days, without all of this stress. So here are your steps. Number one, eat protein at every meal. Now, my easy go-to obvious protein sources are going to be things like pork loin, chicken breast, beef, eggs, salmon. Those are all obvious choices. If you're vegan, things like tempeh and tofu and beans could be a good choice for you. I shy away from using tons of protein powder, but if you're going to use it, I suggest something that's usually a vegan protein powder, regardless of whether or not you're vegan. Okay, so that's the first part, is you're just going to eat some protein with every meal. Don't get hung up on exactly how much or that it's from the perfect source. Just eat some protein. And then you're going to, step two, combine that with a healthy carb. So your first question is going to be, what's a healthy carb exactly? So when I say healthy carb or smart carb, what I'm talking about usually is I say fruits, roots, and intact grains. So those are your unrefined, high carb foods. So we're talking about fruits. Everybody knows what fruit is. Roots, I'm talking about sweet potatoes, white potatoes, yams, sometimes like a butternut squash, things like that kind of fall into that category. And then intact grains. So be careful if you have a gluten issue, but an intact grain is going to be quinoa, oats, rice. It's not going to be rice bread you bought at the grocery store. It's not going to be quinoa chips that you dip into salsa. It's okay to have those things sometime, but at your core, your primary sources of carbs should be these roots, fruits, intact grains, things that are pretty much minimally processed. Just throw some spices on them. Let them be a side dish instead of the main player. Okay, then moving on to step three, cook and or dress your food with healthy fats. So healthy fats include the healthy oils like avocado, sesame seed, coconut oil, and olive oil, of course. And then there's also plant-based healthy fats like avocados and nuts and nut butters. And then, of course, you have your omega fats, which are awesome for PCOS, that you can get them from a supplement, or you could get them from eating that salmon, which also helps you with your protein requirement. Next step, moving on, is vegetables. Always, with every meal, forever. Vegetables are just good for you, right? If you have PCOS, and I've had some tips on here about this, but I'll mention it again. Eating more vegetables is going to help you with your hormonal balance. It's going to help you with your digestion, which is closely linked to your hormonal balance. So you want to make sure that you're including your veggies with every meal. And then the final step is just to stop before you're completely full. So I will talk more about that in a later video, but here's the deal. Even if you're not trying to lose weight, you don't want to eat until you feel physically full. It takes your body about 20 minutes to send signals to your brain that you're physically full. So you want to eat slowly. You want to put small portions on your plate and get more if you need it after about 20 minutes. And you want to just kind of feel like 2/3 full, 80% full, not quite full. You don't want to feel 100% full, and you definitely never want to feel stuffed. I mean, who likes that feeling anyway, right? Okay, so that's really all there is to it. That's what I practice in my daily life, and that is what I coach a lot of my clients, well, all of my clients. These are the core principles of good PCOS nutrition, and in I would say over 90% of cases that I've worked with, this works brilliantly, even if somebody comes into me as like a really advanced diet guru, nutritionista, very interested in every blog about PCOS, it tends to be that if we walk this back and just focus on these few things, you become more consistent, more joyful, more chilled out, and less stressed about food. Because I think that's a huge issue with PCOS, is you get so stressed out about food. Lame, like we don't have enough stuff to be stressed about. All right, so if you like this video and you want to stay tuned in for my talk about portion control, which is coming up here on this channel, or anything else, subscribe right now, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to have like a nice little sort of printed out version of all the stuff I just said, you can sign up to get my PCOS Plate guide, which is like a super simple, boiled down PDF of everything I just chatted with you about right here. So if you click the link below in the description, you can give me your email and I'll get right back to you with that PDF, the PCOS Plate. So again, go forth and enjoy healthy foods. Chill out, enjoy them, and know that you're doing what's best for your PCOS.